is it had to do with the shift into the rational mind, which we hold above everything. And you know, I'm always grinding up against people with this stuff, but I'm going to say it anyways. There was something that happened there, and we can't even be aware of it because we're so entrenched in this thing of rhetorical debate, of having a rational argument and the outcome being the truth. Probably everybody believes that in here. But it may not be true. I mean, this is the whole thing about rhetoric, is that you can argue from this side or you can argue from this side if you were really good at it. Like, that's what Socrates used to be able to do. He used to be able to full-on take whatever you said and take it to pieces, right? And what it was, is it was just like wrestling for the Greeks, which the Greeks loved. They loved that wrestling thing. So it was wrestling with the mind. Previous to that, and let's just say quite a ways previous to that, there was another way to get to the truth. And the truth came from logos, not logic. Logos was the word of the goddess. It was the word of the muse. It was this channeled information. I mean, we'd use that word these days. And this was the truth that different tribal people would create the foundation of their culture on these insights they'd received from the etheric realm. And these were the absolute truths, and they had to be followed to the letter, generationally. There was no arguing about it. There was no debating. There was none of that stuff. Now, there's a little bit of remnants of that in our culture in Judaism, for example. But it's almost all gone. So this is an interesting thing because it's still available to us all. And probably people in this room have had experiences where you did receive information where you couldn't account for the origins of it. But in our culture, that kind of information is dismissed, whereas in tribal cultures, that kind of information was held up. And then you tell everybody your story. Like, hey, I was in this garden, this thing happened, in my dream, this thing happened. And everybody had such a good understanding of what we would call now archetypal or mythical reality that it was all clear to them what the message was. Maybe. And if it wasn't, they wouldn't just jump to something and try to make something up and rationalize it. They'd wait till the other pieces came to them.